Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Shoshannah Ingersoll. I am a Surrogate Match Coordinator at the Surrogacy Program, and I'm also a three-time previous surrogate myself. And today I am here to start a new segment about debunking surrogacy myths. Today's surrogacy myth that we're debunking is that surrogates want to keep the baby. Wrong! Surrogates do not want to keep your baby. We have children of our own. We've thought about this for a long time before doing it, and we are not by any means going through this process to try to expand our own families. When surrogates come around to doing this process, what they're thinking about is blessing another human being with a family, because we love our own family so much and we want to be able to give that back to somebody else. In gestational surrogacy, a surrogate is not related to the baby that she's carrying for the intended parents. The intended parents will use either their own genetic material or perhaps a donor egg or donor sperm or some combination of both, depending on their circumstances. And a surrogate wants to see that couple or that single intended parent hold their baby for the first time. That is the thought on her mind every step of the process. The surrogate is thinking about that moment when the parents are going to hold their baby and feel what she has felt for her own children. But the baby that she carries for her surrogate intended parents, it's not her baby. It doesn't feel like her baby. I can speak from my own personal experience in that I have loved giving this blessing to somebody else. And I look at my surrogate babies after they're born and I think, my gosh, they're beautiful, they're adorable. Of course, I love them. I've cared for them for 9 months, but they're not my own. I'm not bonded to them. My connection is really with the families. And the reason I want to debunk this myth, it's so important to debunk this myth, truly, because it is one of those concerns that really holds intended parents back sometimes from wanting to get to know their surrogate. They feel that maybe if they put up some walls, if they sort of keep a distance and don't get emotionally involved with the surrogate or the surrogate's family, that it protects against this idea, this myth that the surrogate may want to keep the baby. But it's so far from the truth. In fact, having a relationship with your surrogate is one of the best parts of this process. Get to know the extraordinary woman who wants to help you build your family. Don't be afraid that getting to know her is going to mean she's coming too close to your own family. She's giving you this blessing. She's doing it from her heart. And if you can embrace that, the relationship she forms is really with you. The surrogate's not bonding with the baby. She's bonding with the couple or the single parent that she's helping. So I really encourage parents to keep an open mind as they go through this process. You know, be involved in the appointments, be involved with your surrogate, check in with her, see how she's doing, share in all the steps along the way together. And that being said, not every step along the way is easy. You're going to be going through the IVF process together. Sometimes just the act of trying to get pregnant can take a toll, and it can be emotional and it can be challenging, but stay in it as a team. Remember that your surrogate is the most integral part of your team, and you don't want by any means to make her feel alienated any more than you would want to feel like you were on the outs during this process. Your surrogate is doing a lot more than just carrying your baby. She's carrying your hopes. She's carrying your dreams. She's also oftentimes carrying your worries. I see so many cases where a surrogate turns out to be a bit of a counselor even to the parents that she's helping, because they're still processing all the things that have led up to them pursuing surrogacy. So, let her into your lives, share with her your hopes, your dreams, your worries in moderation. Obviously, you don't want to stress out your surrogate either any more than you would want her stressing out during the pregnancy. And just keep in mind that this is a team process. And the best thing for a cohesive team is open and honest communication, positive communication, and making sure that your communication is about more than just the pregnancy. Your surrogate has her own life outside of this. She has her own family. She might have a job. She might have school. There are other things going on in her life too, as there are in yours. And you can share about those things and really enjoy that human connection as you go through the process. But most importantly, take a deep breath and just remember, the surrogate does not want to keep your baby. The surrogate wants you to have your baby, and she wants to see your joy and your face when you hold your baby for the first time. And if you are open to doing it, most surrogates love to see pictures and milestone updates to know that the children are doing well. It's very rewarding to see your surrogate babies growing and thriving, and to see just how loved they are, because that's ultimately what you're in it for. So I hope today this helps to enlighten people a little bit about that particular myth. Obviously, it is a worry for many people. I'm happy to be able to share from experience that I've never wanted to keep any of my surrogate babies. I am so happy for them to go home with their families and happy to help other families on the path through working at an agency. If you are screening your own surrogate, if you're not going through a program, just make sure that you do your due diligence, research well, screen your surrogate well, because obviously I can't speak for surrogates all over the globe. It is a big myth that surrogates want to keep the baby. Most surrogates do not want this. They're going into this to help you, but you want to make sure your surrogate is properly screened and that she is doing this for the right reasons, like the majority of surrogates are. So always play it safe, do your research. When available, you can always go to an agency, and an agency is going to fully screen your surrogate for you. At our program, we do screen our surrogates psychologically, socially, medically. We do criminal and financial background checks. And more importantly, we get to know them as people, so we know how to match our surrogates with intended parents they're going to enjoy this process with. We want our matches to enjoy their journey together. And any program you work with will hopefully do the same for you. So until next time, tune in for the next myth. I'll look forward to talking to you again in the future, and I really appreciate you taking this time out of your evening to hear what we have to say about these surrogacy myths. Take care and have a wonderful weekend ahead.